Nobody warned us this was coming. Nobody hinted that this Grammy night would end up shaking the entire music
Nicki Minaj has been hinting that Jay-Z is the most evil person in the music industry for a decade now.
industry. What was supposed to be a celebration turned into one of the most uncomfortable, confusing, and talked about moments in recent award show history. After what happened at the 2026 Grammy Awards, Nicki Minaj finally snapped, and when she put Jay-Z's name in the conversation, the silence that followed said more than any statement ever could. This wasn't just anger, this wasn't just emotion, this was years of pressure, frustration, and quiet disrespect finally exploding in public. And once unseen footage began spreading online, everything changed. The 2026 Grammys were meant to be
John Legend, Billie Eilish, Phineas, Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is
flawless. February 2nd, Los Angeles. The Crypto.com arena packed with industry elites, chart toppers, legends, and rising stars. Cameras flashing non-stop, designers everywhere.
She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues.
Millions watching at home. Trevor Noah stepped onto the stage, smiling, confident, announcing this would be his 6th and final time hosting the show. The energy felt light. The crowd felt ready. It looked like one of those nights where nothing controversial would happen. But sometimes, the calm is just the surface hiding a storm underneath. From the moment Nicki Minaj arrived, fans noticed something was off. She looked composed, confident but distant. Not cold, just guarded, according
Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it, baby.
to people close to her. She didn't feel celebrated walking into the building. She felt observed, measured, watched, and when you've been in the industry as long as Nicki has, you learn the difference between love and tolerance. That difference, she says, was loud that night. As the show progressed, everything seemed normal. Performances hit, awards were handed out, applause filled the room. Then came the moment that shifted the energy. One joke, one camera pan, one reaction that couldn't be undone. The joke itself wasn't shocking on paper, but context matters, and the reactions told a story the words didn't. The camera swept across the crowd. Nervous laughter, forced smiles, eyes darting around, and then Nicki, her face didn't move. No laugh, no smile, just a look that said everything without saying anything. Fans noticed instantly. Clips started circulating within minutes. People replayed it again and again. Something had changed behind the scenes. Nicki claims things had already been uncomfortable. Conversations stopping when certain people walked in, decisions being made without her input. Last-minute changes that affected her directly. She says this wasn't random, this felt organized, strategic, and the more she observed, the clearer it became. For years, Nicki has spoken, sometimes jokingly, sometimes seriously, about being overlooked, awards she felt she earned but didn't receive, praise without
Forbes called it a full-on MAGA rant. Gossip labeled her posts democrat delusions. Rolling Out said she hijacked the Grammys.
recognition, influence without credit. Fans defended her, critics dismissed her, but she never forgot the pattern. Grammy night didn't start the frustration, it confirmed it, according to Nicki. A quiet power structure exists in the industry. It doesn't move loudly, it doesn't announce itself, it operates behind closed doors, through favors, alliances, and influence. She believes Jay-Z sits at the center of that structure, whether directly or indirectly. And when she mentioned Queen Bee energy, many took it as a reference to another powerful figure whose influence has long been felt but rarely questioned. Nicki says the issue was never personal until it became personal. She felt boxed in, controlled, like decisions about her career were being made without her consent. And the worst part wasn't the control, it was the expectation that she should smile through it. Then came the footage, not the official broadcast, the raw clips. Phone videos, security cam angles, moments fans were never meant to see. Nicki standing alone while groups formed elsewhere, conversations ending when she approached. People switching energy instantly. The internet did what it always does, slowed it down, zoomed in, analyzed every frame, and suddenly, Nicki's reaction didn't seem dramatic, it seemed justified. By the next morning, Nicki broke her silence. No PR team, no polished statement, just raw emotion. She went live, she tweeted. She posted messages that didn't need explaining. She said she was tired of being pushed aside quietly, tired of fake smiles and silent disrespect, tired of being punished for speaking up. Then she said it, Jay-Z. The moment that name entered the conversation, everything changed. Blogs went quiet, industry insiders stopped tweeting. Artists who usually comment on everything suddenly had nothing to say. This wasn't just gossip anymore, this was a challenge to power. Nicki accused certain people of running a power play, of trying to limit her space, rewrite narratives, and remind her who really controls the industry. She said she felt punished for refusing to play the game quietly, punished for not needing approval, punished for being loud, confident, and unapologetic. What shocked fans most wasn't what Nicki said. It was who didn't respond. Jay-Z's camp remained silent. No denial, no clarification, no explanation, just silence. And in an industry where image is everything, silence is rarely accidental. As days passed, old interviews resurfaced, clips where Nicki hinted at feeling isolated, moments where she spoke about politics holding her back. Artists came forward saying she supported them when nobody else did. Producers admitted she warned them years ago about how the industry really works. Suddenly, this didn't feel like a breakdown, it felt like a long-delayed truth. Nicki later explained that this was never about awards, it was about control. About who gets to decide what greatness looks like. About how outspoken women are treated differently when they refuse to stay quiet. She said she wasn't angry anymore, she was tired, and that's what made this moment dangerous. Because when someone reaches exhaustion instead of anger, they stop caring about consequences. They stop filtering, they stop protecting people who never protected them. The 2026 Grammys will always be remembered, not for the winners, not for the performances, but for the night the illusion cracked. The night people realized the industry isn't as fair or balanced as it pretends to be. Whether you believe Nicki or not, the conversation has changed. Fans are asking deeper questions. Artists are watching more carefully. And the silence from powerful people is louder than any response could ever be. This wasn't just a moment, it was a warning, and this story is far from over. The room was loud, flashy, and full of celebrities, but something felt off. And everyone could feel it. Cameras were rolling, lights were blinding, and
So, in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her 100 to 200 million so far.
the audience was already buzzing. Before anything even happened, then suddenly, the crowd reacted. In a way no one expected. Cheers broke out, laughter echoed, and people started clapping. Not because someone walked on stage, but because someone didn't, for a split second. The camera caught Chrissy Teigen in the crowd, smiling and giving a thumbs up.
She said, "Dear #Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up."
It looked harmless at first, like a casual reaction. John Legend was sitting right next to her, calm and composed, but when you really looked at the moment, it felt strange. The energy in the room wasn't about celebration of music, it was about the absence of one person. Nicki Minaj was not in the building, and somehow, that became the headline of the night. Let that sink in for a moment. This wasn't a random event. This was one of the biggest, most prestigious award shows in the music industry.
Well, she felt like Lil Wayne. She feels like Lil Wayne should have been the performer at the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
A night meant to honor talent, creativity, and legacy, and yet, the crowd seemed genuinely excited that one of the most successful and influential female rappers in hip-hop history wasn't there. This wasn't a small artist. This wasn't someone unknown. This was Nicki Minaj, a woman who broke records, dominated charts, and opened doors for countless artists after her. Still, the reaction was loud, clear, and uncomfortable. People were cheering, laughing, and enjoying the moment as if her absence itself was entertainment. From the outside, it might look like just another joke, another viral moment, another clip that would disappear in a few days. But moments like this don't happen in a vacuum. They come from years of tension, opinions, narratives, and behind-the-scenes drama that the public only sees pieces of. When a crowd reacts that strongly to someone not being present, it raises questions. Was it shade? Was it a joke taken too far? Or was it a reflection of how divided the industry and the audience really are? When it comes to certain artists, as the cameras kept moving and the show went on, the host Trevor Noah stepped in and did what hosts.
So she said, they don't want you to see it when I'm liking, so that feature was demolished. Listening devices, cameras, car tags, pages you don't follow under the following section of
usually do. He joked, he teased, and he tried to keep the energy light. But this time, his jokes hit differently. Instead of letting the moment pass, he leaned into it. He took the situation and pushed it further, adding fuel to a fire that was already burning. He started making jokes that many people felt were clearly aimed in one direction. Then he switched gears and launched into an impression that caught everyone's attention. He mimicked former President Donald Trump, exaggerating his voice, his mannerisms, and his over-the-top confidence.
So, over the weekend, Beyonce took her tour to Paris, and of course, all of the celebrities popped out, but one of the biggest names that people were excited to see, he's at every tour stop, but Jay-Z actually came out on stage with Beyonce in Paris. Now, this is a big deal for several reasons. It has been 7 years since they have performed on stage together.
Confidence. The crowd laughed loudly, the joke landed. But mixed into that impression were comments and references that felt uncomfortable to some viewers, especially fans who felt like Nicki Minaj was being singled out again. The impression itself wasn't new. Trevor Noah is known for his political humor and impressions, but the timing made it feel layered. It wasn't just about Trump. It felt like commentary wrapped inside comedy, and not everyone found it funny. Some people laughed, some people cringed, and others went straight to social media to express their frustration. Within minutes, clips were spreading online. Captions were being written and opinions were being formed. As always, the internet picked sides. For Nicki Minaj fans, this wasn't just another joke. It felt like disrespect to them. It looked like the industry was comfortable mocking or celebrating her absence while still benefiting from the culture she helped build. They pointed out how often powerful women in hip-hop are criticized, isolated, or turned into punchlines, especially when they don't play by industry rules. For critics, on the other hand, it was just comedy. They argued that award shows have always used humor, that no one is above jokes, and that reactions get exaggerated online. But here's where it gets interesting. This moment wasn't really about one thumbs up, one joke, or one impression. It was about perception. It was about how narratives are formed and how quickly public opinion can shift. Nicki Minaj has always been a polarizing figure. She's loved loudly and criticized just as loudly. Her confidence, her bold personality, and her refusal to stay quiet have earned her both admiration and backlash. In an industry that often expects women to be agreeable, especially successful women, Nicki never fit the mold. Over the years, we've seen this pattern repeat itself. A female artist rises, dominates, speaks her mind, and suddenly becomes difficult, controversial, or problematic. Meanwhile, similar behavior from male artists is brushed off as confidence or personality. That double standard doesn't always show up in obvious ways. Sometimes it shows up in small moments, like audience reactions, jokes, or who gets celebrated and who gets ignored. The crowd's reaction that night felt like a symptom of something bigger. It wasn't planned.
I'm wondering why Rock Nation don't sue Nicki. If you know, they're quick to kind of support Meg and sue a blogger who doesn't have anything. Why not sue Nicki? That's kind of odd.
But it revealed a lot. It showed how comfortable people have become with dismissing certain artists, even when their impact is undeniable. It also showed how award shows, which are supposed to bring people together, can sometimes highlight divisions instead. Social media, of course, amplified everything. Clips were slowed down, zoomed in, and replayed again and again. People analyzed Chrissy Teigen's expression, the timing of the applause, and Trevor Noah's words. Some defended them, saying people were...
Nicki Minaj also linking up with Trump, getting her gold card. Also, you know, we haven't talked about this much, but Nicki Minaj, you know, got into a spat versus Don Lemon, and then he got indicted and arrested.
Reading too much into it. Others felt the moment was disrespectful and unnecessary. Nicki Minaj herself didn't need to say much. Her silence spoke just as loudly as any response could, and that silence is powerful. When someone chooses not to react, it forces everyone else to keep talking. Fans keep debating, critics keep explaining, media outlets keep posting headlines. The story grows without the main character even...
So he's blaming Nicki Minaj as being like, you know, maybe he has this theory that because Nicki has the ear of Trump controls the DOJ, right? Maybe that's what he's thinking, that Nicki's voice is that powerful now.
Stepping into it. That's the strange power of celebrity culture. Sometimes absence creates more noise than presence ever could. What makes this situation even more layered is Nicki Minaj's history with award shows and the industry. She's been vocal in the past about feeling overlooked or disrespected despite her success. She's questioned voting systems, industry politics, and who really gets rewarded. Moments like this only add fuel to those conversations, whether people agree with her or not.
But if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X. And I guarantee you, if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
Yeah,
I agree.
Lauren would get the first details as soon as it hit the court.
I would be at court for that.
Hard to ignore that her concerns didn't come out of nowhere. Trevor Noah moved on with the show, the awards were handed out, and the night ended like it always does. But the clip lived on. Days later, people were still talking about it. Podcasts discussed it. YouTube videos broke it down. Twitter threads argued every angle. And that's when it became clear that this wasn't just a funny moment from an award show.
He did campaign for Barack Obama crazy.
He did for Barack Obama.
He did a verse on My President is Black, but he definitely was out there for Barack.
Oh, it was a cultural moment. At its core, this story is about how quickly respect can turn into ridicule, and how fame doesn't always protect you from being minimized. It's about how the industry chooses who to celebrate, who to joke about, and who to quietly push to the side. It's also about how audiences play a role in that.
I just think that when you criticize somebody for what they are doing or haven't done for a community, whatever her argument is, you have to be doing equal or more. Because that would be my question, right? Yeah. Well, if I'm not doing anything, then what are you doing?
Sometimes without even realizing it. Nicki Minaj didn't need to be in the building to dominate the conversation. Her absence did that for her, and maybe that's the real takeaway here. Love her or hate her, agree with her or not, her impact is undeniable. When a room full of celebrities reacts that strongly to someone not being there, it proves one thing. That person still holds power. In the end, award shows will keep having jokes. Crowds will keep reacting and social media will keep debating. But moments like this remind us to look deeper, to ask why certain reactions happen, why certain names still spark emotion, and why some artists can never truly be ignored, no matter how hard people try, because sometimes being absent doesn't mean you're forgotten. Sometimes it means you're still the most talked about person in the room. Let me take you back for a moment, because this story doesn't start with rumors or headlines. It starts with a single photo, a photo that Nicki Minaj shared, claiming it was from 1996. A photo that instantly set the internet on fire. In that image, people believe they see Jay-Z standing next to a very young Aaliyah. One picture to famous names, and a timeline that refuses to stay quiet. The moment that photo resurfaced, fans didn't just look at faces, they looked at dates, ages, interviews, and history, and once people start connecting dots, it's almost impossible to stop the conversation. Now here's where the hook really begins. According to multiple sources, Aaliyah turned 17 years.
Nicki Minaj has been hinting that Jay-Z is the most evil person in the music industry for a decade now.
That's too.
Who is the biggest in the music industry?
I want to say, but it would be so real that I can't.
Old on January 16th, 1996. That detail matters a lot, because if the photo was taken after that date, then she wasn't 15 like some people claim. She was most likely 17, but even then, that still raises a huge question. Jay-Z at that time would have been around 26 or 27 years old. And for many people watching this story unfold, the question isn't about legality alone. The question is about power, age gaps, and what was considered normal in the industry back then versus how we see things today. Is a 26-year-old being photographed with a 17-year-old out of pocket? A lot of people would say yes. Some would say the industry was different. Others would say that difference is exactly the problem. As fans dug deeper, the story became less about the photo and more about the pattern, because this wasn't the first time Jay-Z's name had been connected to younger women. And that's when Dame Dash entered the conversation. Dame Dash has said many times very clearly that he was the one who was actually with Aaliyah. According to him, Jay-Z may have tried to holler at her, but he never actually got with her. Dame claims he was with Aaliyah first. That statement alone split opinions right down the middle. Some people felt it cleared Jay-Z's name, others felt it didn't make the situation any better. It just changed the angle, because let's be real for a second. Whether Jay-Z dated her or not, the fact that grown men around her were even having conversations about who was with her first makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And that discomfort is exactly why this topic refuses to disappear. It's not just about one man or one woman. It's about an industry where young talent often grows up surrounded by adults with influence, money, and power. And when power is uneven, things get complicated very fast. Now let's shift to another name that always comes up in this discussion: Beyonce. Beyonce has said in interviews that she met Jay-Z when she was 18 and that they started dating when she was 19. According to her, they respected each other's music first. They talked, they worked, and over time, that professional respect slowly turned into something real. That's the official version. But some reports tell a different story. Some reports say they met earlier, around 1997.